Next up, have a little Ravens talk. The Ravens come into this season with new weapons after signing OBJ and drafting wide receiver Zay Flowers, who has some explosive plays in his preseason debut. And he got some weapons to throw to now. Lamar was asked about his relationship with his new offensive coordinator, Todd Monken, and he said, I quote, "It's great. I've been sending him plays of stuff I've been seeing, and he's putting them in practice, and it's working. So it's like, I'm glad he's listening to me, man." End quote. So that's Lamar Jackson talking about his relationship with his offensive coordinator, Todd Monken. It seemed like they're gelling together, which makes for a you would think that makes for a explosive off, anytime the quarterback and the offensive coordinator is getting along and the offensive coordinator is actually listening to the ideas of said quarterback, then that means, that quarterback is going to have a little bit of freedom to do some of the things that he wants to do. And for me, I think that makes for a more explosive offense. You can look at what Kansas City is able to do over there with Pat Mahomes. Andy Reid, he allows Mahomes to be himself out there and to do, some of the things that he wants to do. And you see how explosive the Andy Reid offense is. And I think Andy Reid has done that throughout his career. I mean, you can look back to Philadelphia with Donovan McNabb, you know what I'm saying? And when Michael Vick, you know what I'm saying? He is known for, explosive offenses. And I think a lot of that has to do with him actually coming to his quarterback and saying, hey, what are you comfortable with? What do you want to do? What do you like to do? What plays are you looking at this week? Because guess what? The quarterback is in that film room. If you got a quarterback like Pat Mahomes, he's watching the film just as much as the coach. Those guys are in the film room almost probably just as much as the offensive coordinator. Once you rise to that level, there's no OC in the league who's watched more film than Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? When you're on that level, there's no OC in the league who's watched more film than Aaron Rodgers. No. So you have to listen to those type of guys, because they know what they're talking about as well. Those guys could be offensive coordinators in any league. So, when you have a quarterback that has risen to that level and you're an offensive coordinator, you got to get input from your players. And people think that, bro, those players are out there on the field. They know what's happening. They can see what's going on. They're there. You get a different perspective from the sideline and from the stands. Like every perspective is different. So yeah. But my question is, will Lamar have his best season yet, considering all the help that he has around him? Will he have his greatest season yet, considering all the help he has around him? So, you got the rookies, Zay Flowers. Everybody been talking about Zay Flowers and what he's been able to do in camp, what he did in the preseason game. Looks real explosive. The rookie that the Ravens was able to draft in this year's draft. The addition of OBJ has caught a lot of attention. It stirred up the league. One of the big offseason moves for the Ravens. They finally got Lamar locked into a long-term deal, which which now they can take their eyes off of that sideshow and focus. And Lamar can focus on producing on the field. You know what the Ravens have been throughout their history defensively. There's always been a solid defensive team, but the weapons that Lamar Jackson has, is that going to allow him to have his best season yet? Well, last year he sat out some time, missed some games for some injuries. I don't think he was really hurt. I think he could have played in most of those games. I think that he sat out those games because he was strategizing this contract negotiation, and I think that was one of his strategies. I think he may have been a little nicked up, but I don't think, like, if he was paid, he would have played in those games. If he had the deal, he would have played. He did not want to risk injuring himself more by going out there and sacrificing his body and lowering his value when it comes down to negotiating the contract that he ultimately got. So that's point number one. Now, now we know you got OBJ, you got Zay Flowers, Lamar's locked in, okay? You got J.K. Dobbins, running back. Is he going to come back and give you some of the things that we saw that he was able to do a season ago? So you look at those weapons, and you look at the new offense that their offensive coordinator and the head coach is talking about, what they're planning on kind of spreading out the field a little more. Years past, it was more of a pistol kind of tight offense where everybody is kind of, around the box area, keeping everything kind of tight, a lot of play action. You know what I'm saying? A lot of called runs for Lamar, obviously, which helped him add on to that total yards that he had in that MVP season. And they think that spreading it out, you couldn't stop him when it was boxed in. So how are you going to stop him when it's spread out? That's the thing. But now, if defensively, if you can contain Lamar, make him throw from the pocket, allow him to throw from the pocket, and see. Now, he got the weapons. Now, let's see if he can get the ball down the field to silence some of the critics who they question his ability to sit in the pocket and deliver the football down the field. They question it. Now, when I watch Lamar throw, I see a pretty ball coming off. It kind of reminds me of Michael Vick, only with the right hand. Like he has a pretty ball. Mike Vick has the most prettiest football I've ever seen in my life. Besides, the top two for me is Michael Vick and Aaron Rodgers. Those boys, the two prettiest balls I've ever seen. It's just so fluid and it's so beautiful. It just pops off their fingertips like it's beautiful. Okay, Lamar, he has a nice ball. So let's see if he's able to silence the critics with this new offense. But my first thoughts would be he's not going to have the best season yet. 2019 unanimous MVP. I don't think he's going to rise to that level. Not in his first year with a new offensive coordinator, even though he has a lot of weapons. I mean, and a lot of people say he will rise to that level, but let's say he does get to that level. If he gets to the MVP level in 2023, the Ravens will win the Super Bowl. Nobody will beat them if Lamar gets back to that. Nobody will beat them if Lamar gets back to that with OBJ, Zay Flowers, some of these boys that they got now on offense. Like what he did in 2019, he had no help. I mean, I'm not disrespecting the guys that was actually out there playing. That's not what I'm saying. No help. What I'm saying is those players were not the caliber of players that Lamar has now. So my answer is no. You guys let me know what you think. Do you think Lamar Jackson will have his best season ever in 2023? Let me know in the comments. This